Every time there's a blockbuster movie, the audience always wants more, and the producers are ready to jump on the bandwagon to create a sequel with the box office collection in mind. But do the storyline and quality of film remain at the same standards as the first? When you think Pirates of the Caribbean, you think Johnny Depp, adventure, and great action series. The Hangover Trilogy, on the other hand, evokes laughter, amusement, and reckless fun. And for some aliens and intriguing science fiction, we could turn to the Men in Black series. But do we love the sequels of those franchises as much as we loved the original movie? The one before all the sequels? Or does our love for the characters and storyline foreshadow our actual judgment when it comes to these movies? Let's start with the Hangover Trilogy. With the original released in 2009, it became an instant hit. It grossed over $469 million at the box office, a huge amount compared to the measly budget of only $30 million. The second movie was released within just 2 years in 2011, and the third in 2013. The characters stayed the same reckless young bachelors they were in the first movie, carrying out their adventures in a drugged and drunken haze. There was neither any significant development in the characters' arcs or the storyline. The second movie was, however, tolerable despite the reoccurring themes. By the third movie, the audiences were bored of the lazy scriptwriting and repetitive plot, which was apparent from the smaller box office revenue and profit margin. Each time they had a wedding to go to, but were blacked out on some drug. Someone went missing and they pissed off some sort of mafia boss on their charades. But magically, 5 minutes before the movie ended, somehow, all of their problems had been fixed and everyone was completely alright. But were the second and third movies really necessary to tell the same story? Coming to the Pirates of the Caribbean series, with 5 movies in the franchise and more on the way, this was definitely a fan favorite. It combined aspects of humor and fantasy, appealing to people of all age groups. The first movie of the series, Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl, was released in 2003, based on the Disney theme park which was opened in 1967, 53 years ago. The success of the original movie saw contracts being signed instantly for a franchise production. The second movie, Dead Man's Chest, 2006, was almost twice as successful as the first movie, pulling in an extra $410 million. When the third movie, At World's End, released just a year later is where the decline began. The production became hasty, looking to pull in profits rather than tell a story. The character arcs didn't develop, and the humor became stagnant. The fourth installment, On Stranger Tides, hit the silver screen in 2011. Was an attempt at redemption, but it barely sufficed. Laced with the same dry humor and repetitive plot points, it became less of an escape to fantasy and more of background noise to play while chilling with friends. In 2017, Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man Tells No Tales released in some countries as Salazar's Revenge. The latest installment was released. Critics were left unimpressed. It replaced storytelling with unnecessary gore and violence, sidelining other characters and reducing major roles to cameos, such as Keira Knightley as Elizabeth Swann and Orlando Bloom as Will Turner, and focusing almost entirely on Johnny Depp's Captain Jack Sparrow. A rumored sixth film is to be released anytime soon, but the catch is, it doesn't have Johnny Depp in the lead role as Jack Sparrow. What then was the point of developing one single character only to replace it? Should they continue dragging this series or say farewell for good? Let me know in the comments below. The Men in Black franchise is our last one to discuss for the day, so let's dive right in. The original Men in Black movie, released in 1997, was so well liked by audiences and critics that it received a 92% rating on RottenTomatoes.com. But the latest one, Men in Black International, which was released in 2019, left everyone shocked at what quality the series had come to, receiving only a 23% rating on RottenTomatoes.com. So how did everything go so downhill? The Men in Black series was directed by Barry Sonnenfeld and is based on the Marvel comic book series of the same name by Lowell Cunningham, which itself was based on a conspiracy theory. It follows the lives and adventures of secret agents, well known as the Men in Black, who escort aliens across the world to conduct business, trade, and friendship with them. A 4-part series with movies released in 1997, 2002, and a decade later in 2012 and 2019 have been a go-to for fans of aliens and science fiction with a touch of comedy, sharing a popular fan base with Star Wars and Star Trek fans. The 4th installment lacked the witty banter and chemistry between fan favorites Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, being entirely replaced by newcomers Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson. This almost entirely took away the charm of the series. Of course, this doesn't mean that the movie is absolutely terrible, but it's lousy when compared to the originals, which kept viewers on the edge of their seats. Let me know if there's any other series that would have been better off being a single movie, or at least a shorter series than turning into a franchise. I'll be back with a new video soon, and in the meantime, stay safe and happy.